What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Killstreaks and Kickoffs Podcast. I am here joined by Drew once again to be diving into the Week 2 results this past week of CDL online stage here. But first and foremost, Drew, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. Good week of COD. A lot of exciting games, so excited to get into it.
Yeah, this is one of the more exciting online weeks that we've had recently. It feels like it's been 3-0, 3-1, 3-0, 3-1 over and over again online recently. But
But
finally, we have some upsets and some map
EU,
fives here.
we
But
suck.
yeah, yeah, this was really bad. Last week we go 5 for 10 on picks. This was our worst week by far. There was just a lot of unreadables, man. The first match curse continues, of course. So, I mean, there's that. This week we're literally going to come to a conclusion on a team that's going to win, and then we're going to pick the opposite when we get there. So, we got to break this shit, man. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this came down to Optic. We falsely were overconfident in them just after seeing what they did week 2 or week 1, and then they came out here, got slammed twice. That's 2 L's on it. The Toronto Thieves match should have read that, but other than that, man,
We,
it
we,
was
we guessed
just
3-2 there. We had both made it. We were closer than this looks. I had made comments about not feeling good about either of the Optic games. We talked about at the end of the podcast. I didn't feel good about Optic. And as J. Cole once said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, I'm not going to get fooled again. Okay, let's just say that Optic, we don't believe in that shit. At least personally. And then we were all over. Rock or Carolina we knew that was close. The only thing we really couldn't predict was just Heretics getting hot.
yeah. So,
So
I mean,
it
I don't
wasn't
know.
as bad of a
It was a
weekend as
rough
we
week.
thought.
This stuff happens, it happens in these. Yeah, it is
But
what it
like a but
is.
like a good team, we're gonna put our heads together, readjust, make some changes, watch film, and be back at it better this week. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like a good team should.
Exactly. So that's how we did for Pickems last week. We'll jump into these actual matches real quick, but I did want to highlight the one rosters change that we saw here. Dylan
Big time.
Rex is in for the Carolina Royal Ravens. He is in. Vivid is out. He is dropped from this roster here. This was a weird one for me in terms of timing wise. I don't know why this change wasn't made earlier before the stage happened, or um, what, but it also makes me wonder what the hell happened with the Kenny rumors, what if it was contract related or whatnot, because I don't know. But I don't hate the change though. I think realistically the Carolina team was a top 4 lock
Fringe.
ceiling. Yeah. So I mean, they weren't gonna be able to move past that from my eyes. You know, without making a change here. So at least they're doing something to try and elevate their game. So I like the move personally. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it. I don't really know
Yeah,
a whole lot about Rex, but
I've heard really good things about Rex, and I love it for them. I just think they just had such a hard ceiling, like you said. It was in that C9 area, get slammed by the good teams. So just they were right. They're kind of right there. Um, I don't think they're right there to win, champs, but they're right there to be on a Sunday, and who knows what happens. So inject some new blood, make a change because this roster was getting very stale. And I think Vivid was the area to fix if they're going to fix it. I still believe in Gwyn, but like we said last podcast, that's the next change. Gwyn needs to wake the fuck up now
yeah,
because he's the next up. He's next on chopping block.
yeah, I agree.
So
Um, yeah, we'll see how it pans out here for Carolina, but excited to see that in their actual matches here. I'm not gonna tear into too much when we get to their games because I mean obviously it's gonna be a new roster, and I'm not gonna super analyze them a whole lot, so we can kind of move past those Carolina matches a little bit quicker. But let's get it kicked off here with an ad for Open Collect and Frag Out. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. We're gonna get in here into the Miami versus Optic match, first match of the day. The curse ensues. Miami comes out with this one 3-1. Either last week was a fluke, Optic regressed or Rocker and C9 are trash. I don't know which one. But this team that showed up here on Friday was not the same. I will kind of give my take here on Miami. We'll talk about Optic a little bit more in the next match. But I don't know. I will admit that I might have been wrong about my take on the super pickup. I know I was kind of criticizing that, saying it was a lazy pickup. Just based off of like what I saw. I mean, super came into this roster at one point during stage one. I wasn't like super impressed or anything. No pun intended. Um, and he has came out and fried for this team. So I don't know if he's brought that honeymoon phase for these guys, whatever it is. But I will admit I'm wrong there. That being said, I still think this team needs to move on from medals. I know he had a good series the next match that they had, but I don't know. I think he's that last piece for them to find somebody that is an elite talent to get in there and make this team potentially move up to that next level. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts here on this series. Like I said, I'll save most of my stuff for Optic until the next one.
I'm not moved by anything from Heretics, so we can move.
Yeah,
There's no point. Like, I mean, they're still not really gonna be serious.
yeah. I mean,
This
what
is
do you
like
think
an
of
old. This is
Super?
like that's kind of like a. Oh, Super's been frying. That
Yeah,
I completely agree there. He's a whole different person since re-entering. He's been the best player in every single series of this split so
yeah.
far. Um, it's not even a doubt. But I still think like this is kind of like a, I don't know. Until they prove me wrong, I'm kind of viewing them as like a breach, like online. Not gonna really do it. They're not gonna really interest me on a major weekend.
Me as well. The flank was glazing these guys a lot after their second match. I'm not buying into it. I'm in the same boat as you. So, yeah, let's move on
Phase
though.
fans, Phase loses the great, that somehow all Heretics is the greatest team of all time. Like
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not moved either. But let's move on here to Vancouver Surge versus LAG. I have quite literally nothing to say. In this one, LAG sucks. Um, Drew's just giving a thumbs up there. That's I think enough. That's more than enough.
down, down.
Did
They
I say up?
stink. Move on. Yeah,
Okay.
down. They suck.
Well, let's move on here to the Royal Ravens. If I can click on it, damn it. Come on. All right. Carolina Royal Ravens beat the Minnesota Rocker here 3-2. Again, we got this one wrong, I think. I think we pulled or called it
Yep.
a Minnesota Rocker one here. Another map 5, round 11 for Rocker, of course, so this could have just
Dude,
as easily gone their way. Um, I don't know. They struggle to close out maps on match point. I mean, 250 to 244 map 4, and then 6-5 round 11 in the map 5. So it's like these guys are seconds away from winning series. They just can't close these out. So yeah, it's not the worst position you could be in. I'll say that. But
hey, hey, just practice the round 11 map fives and they'll be goaded.
yeah, I don't know. But
Uh,
again, like I said, I don't really want to touch a whole lot on this Carolina team or tearing them too much because they've got that change coming in, Dylan Rex. So
I'm just,
we'll
I'm
see
just
how
glad
that
to see
is.
Rocker showing signs of life. Good to see Rocker showing signs of
Yeah,
life.
for sure, for sure. But let's move on here to the upset that we mentioned. Miami actually pulls it off here against Atlanta FaZe. Like I said, Metals did play well in this series. Not buying into that. I'm sticking with the take. Never wrong, just early. We're the eggs. But my bigger takeaway from this series specifically is it is a bit concerning for FaZe here, if you ask me. They're 1-2 going into week 3. Granted, they do play Optic and Falcons, but I mean, if in some world either of those teams pull it off against them, then they're sitting at maybe 2-3. You know, coming down to map count for qualifying for a winners bracket. But I don't know. Simp has been struggling for these guys, and Abizi in this series as well. But Simp in general has been definitely noticeably consistently under his where his bar's at. So I'm a little concerned with these FaZe guys, at least from what we've seen online. Realistically, like every single time we say we're concerned with FaZe, then they're fine. So take it with a grain of salt, but that's my bigger takeaway from this series. Again, like I said, not moved by Miami. This is more like a FaZe trolling type of series for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm not. slightly. I'm not even slightly worried about FaZe. This just strikes to me as like, let's just say you were like a chronic gambler and you're hitting these huge, you're putting down $500 on a roulette table and you're hitting, bang, you're just winning big money. That's kind of like what a major is. And FaZe 3 in a row, man, like the dope from these online games is zero. It's like a scratch off. Like they're winning, you know what I mean? Like they're winning $5.
That's
They have
fair.
zero interest in this shit. They're gonna so lock in this week and be fine. Like this team, Simp and Abizi are better than this. We've seen it for the entire
Yeah,
year.
yeah. I mean, 0.73, 0.82. That's not these guys
These
by
guys
any
are just
means.
not interested until
Yeah,
it's a major.
I like that take. You might be right. Um, but yeah, I mean, they get upset here in this one at least, and Miami gets some dope from their online. They love this shit. Like this is their Super Bowl. They get
Oh,
so much dope from this. Um,
they went out.
yeah. But okay, well, Miami gets the upset there, and then let's move on to the Optic versus Falcons here, and Falcons franchise gets their first ever win in the CDL. Granted, it was not with that original roster, but Xnid here was the sole survivor of the
Yeah.
roster, so he gets him one. He gets him some of that online dope that we were talking about. Um, I don't know. I thought Pred and Xnid actually looked like solid as like a sub duo. I know Xnid didn't go positive in this one, but yeah,
And their energy's great, man.
oh yeah,
I love it.
they're teed. They get hype. Xnid was absolutely cheesing, bro, when they won this series. So good for him. So I like that duo. Arsene's played great. He gets MVP in this series. Drops a 1.21, so he played great in this one. Curious to see if Priestahh can uphold these types of numbers for sure. But we'll see there with this Falcons team. This was very concerning for Optic, if you ask me. I think failing or falling to a team that formed 2 weeks ago is really not a good look at all. I mean, needless to say.
They're a
Um,
team that formed 2 weeks ago.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
I know. No, I agree. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I
Yeah,
completely agree.
yeah. True. There is a point to be had there, but I mean, in terms of expectations wise for like this Optic team, at least just Dashi and Shotzi alone as a duo, like you expect a lot more than you do for like a team like the Falcons. Yeah, I don't know. It is concerning for me in a way. I'm not like completely chalked or like I don't think they're completely cooked. I mean, you're still sitting at 2-2. Even if you lose to FaZe this weekend, you could still potentially make winners bracket. So, who knows? Who
I
knows
better hope
there?
so.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back losers brackets would really suck if
Be
you're
it would have been
Optic.
nice to at least get to map 5, but
Yeah,
instead you got beat by 140 in map 4,
yeah,
and
you
you
got
had a
slammed.
horrible choke on Vault,
Yeah,
and you're honestly lucky to get through the search. Um, I don't know, man. I had the take, and I'm sticking by the take, and it's feeding me up. I'm fucking full. I'm just eating from this take. That fucking Dashi and Shotzi, like that they go. The team goes as they go, and they're snoozing.
yeah, definitely. I think this
So
falls on. I mean, Dashi played well in this one. I think Dashi has been their most
Shotzi,
consistent player.
yeah, it's
Shotzi, though,
Shotzi is
on the other
my.
hand, man, yeah, he's got to figure out this game because the way he plays in this game just does not work. He can't get away with the shit he did in MW3. So something's got to change with
I
his
just
play style.
I just wonder like. Well, I have two other thoughts about this. Is that like I was watching Scump's stream, and I told you, and just thought I'd reiterate on the podcast. They played so scared. They
Yeah,
put like it was a team they're supposed to beat, and they were just shivering that they can't lose this. And so they didn't play any. They didn't play to win the game. They played not to lose, and then they lost. And then my other thought was just that like did Omni movement hurt Shotzi more than it helped
uh, that's a good
because
question.
it closed the
The
movement
movement gap.
gap.
Yeah, everybody can move now.
I think it did.
Yeah, that's an interesting take,
Like
but I agree. Like it makes sense when you put it like that.
like everybody can do what he's doing, like a lot easier at least. Like he's still,
Oh, dude, kids
He's
in
still a
ranked can do
step
the
up.
shit that he's doing, bro. I'm getting moved on by
Yeah.
Timmy in Diamond ranked.
Yeah. So that's all my thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll close it out with this. I saw a take on Optic last week, and I wasn't sure I agree with it at the time, but it was like basically saying this Optic team is no longer the worst team in the league by any means, but they're kind of just back in that middle pack now with like at best maybe like a top 4, top 5, top 6 like finish. It is right now for this roster. Um, they're in the middle pack. So I mean, you're better off than you were shitting the bed last week, but you're back in that middle of the pack, gonna have to fight against a really strong middle of the pack that we have this year. I know we've talked about that a lot, so you got your work cut out for you here if you're Optic. You're by no means on the level of that top 3, top 4 conversation that we have right now with like your FaZe, Thieves, Surge, and Toronto. So you have a lot of work to crack your way into that. But at least you're back in the mix with this team. After this weekend, I think that's the case for sure. If they're following the teams like this, they show up on weekends and don't show up on others, So that's not gonna cut it for these guys to move past that. But that's where I think they're at right
Yep.
now. If you're good with wrapping up our Optic discourse here,
Yep.
let's move on. Why does it change, bro, from completed to upcoming all the
I
time?
don't
It's so
know.
annoying. But let's kick it over here to Boston versus LAG. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on this one. I will say Johnny has been playing the best for them, funny enough. So like he's a good pickup. Everybody else though, man, Lunars may not be the play. Um, Boston still sucks. They just do their thing against bad teams. That's all I gotta say with this series.
Bad teams and internet.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the last match of day 2 here. Cloud9 versus LA Thieves again. 3-0 here. These guys, these poor guys at Cloud9 are just getting their ass beat by the top teams over and over again. It's crazy. Um, I mean, bro, they can't catch a break. I want to say they were talking about on the flank. I want to say next stage also they play Toronto, FaZe, and Thieves next online stage, and they still have to play Surge. I want to say in this week, like next weekend. We'll see if we get there. I think that's who they play or one of the teams they play. So it's like,
I would
bro,
kill the scheduler.
dude, they need to have this guy like, yeah, they need to put out a hit, a bounty on
Yeah.
his head, bro, or something. Cause holy fuck. I mean, granted, some of it's like RNG, like with how that last major bracket ended up seeding out, and like Thieves lost day 1, so that kind of fucked them as well. But like, bro, um, these poor guys, man, it's beginning to look like this C9 team is not gonna qualify for champs because they're not qualified as of right now. And with the opportunities that are presenting themselves going forward, it doesn't look like they're gonna be able to put something together unless together.
They better put them together soon because they were thrown. It was just too bad because they had gotten their shit together there for a minute, and then they got thrown the absolute they got thrown in the freaking gulag.
Yeah.
Like, so it's too bad. I think my stance is that they're not gonna turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this team is better than what they're ranked in terms of CDL points, but they're just not gonna have a chance to prove that, I don't think. Um,
I think they've lost. Like they should have taken a map here. They've lost it. I think.
yeah, maybe there's a little bit of hopelessness in that camp as well. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
that's what I think.
You come out and get dogged on round 1 or map 1 by LA Thieves, it's like, bro, get me out of this shit. So I don't know. Sucks for Cloud9, but Thieves do their thing there. These guys are dogs, of course. Let's move on to their next match, though. I guess I forgot that they played right after that against Minnesota Rocker. They do get a win against Minnesota Rocker. Another map 5 for these Rocker cats, bro. They've gotten the map 5
Round 10.
round 10. Not round 11 this time, but round 10, damn near. They've got a map 5 every single one of their games. Again here, look at the maps 4 and the maps 5. They lose this one by 4, the hard point map 4 with a chance to win it, and then they lose the map 5 by 2 rounds. to get reverse sweeped by Cloud9 for this one. So, dude, these guys, bro, they're like, you brought Kenny in. I remember this team, Major One Stage One was going nap 5 all the time as well. With even with Pollux on here, you brought Kenny in. The energy's still in the air, bro. These guys love going map 5. Just love letting teams hang around in these series, bro. So, great series from Sib from Cloud9 here, but this is more just like, I don't know what the hell. Rocker's got to figure out how to ice up these series to try and get themselves some wins here. So, yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on?
I think they should just start simming rocker games to map 5 round 11. Or
Just like
just sim to map
skip the
5 at
first
least.
four, make the score
Yeah,
2-2, and then
it's like ranked play S&D where you know it's gonna be 5-5.
yeah,
So it's like we might as well just start at round 11 and
yeah,
like just get it over with. It's gonna get there. So I think that's my take is they should just skip to map 5 for rocker series from here on out.
yeah. I
I
agree.
don't care against what team. It could be against Breach. It could be against Gentlemates. It could be against Thieves. Skip to map 5.
Fair enough.
So that's my thoughts.
Fair enough. Yeah, but I mean, to wrap up, I guess the thoughts on Cloud9. They have, I wrote it down here. They have Boston and Surge next week. So you've got to win at least one of those for a chance at winners. 2 to lock it up. Don't see that happening. Don't see this team beating Surge right now. But I think they should beat Boston. Who knows though? Boston loves their online matches. So we'll see. 1 gives you a chance. 2 locks it up. I highly doubt 2, and 1 is not even
They won't get
guaranteed.
2.
No,
They won't get 2.
they're not getting 2, and I don't think 1 is guaranteed either. I mean,
Me
you know how
neither.
Boston is online.
We'll
So
get there when we get there, though. Let's get to those picks.
yeah. Let's move on. Vancouver Surge versus the Carolina Royal Ravens here. Another map 5. This day was a great day of COD. 3 map 5. So that was really fun to watch, and I think this one was a reverse sweep as well. Yeah. Yeah, back-to-back reverse sweeps here. So I don't know. This one more so felt
hard
like,
to tell.
yeah, I know with the colors.
Yeah.
But this one kind of just felt like Surge hadn't woken up in the first 2 maps, and I think they said that in their interview. But after they turned it on in the control, like it was GG's. Nasty comes out, drops a 1.32. KD on the series. Yeah, Surge clinch winners here with this one. Get their 3rd win of the stage. Great win from that again, though. I don't really want to harp on this Carolina roster. They're 2-2 going into week 3 here. Need to grab themselves a win.
Surge are just monsters now. Surge are just monsters now. If you got Nasty playing well for this team, I do not want to see them.
Yeah, Nasty's their X factor for me, bro.
Yeah, if Nasty's rolling, bro, this team is not a team you want to face.
Yeah.
Shut down Nasty, you probably win. If you let Nasty go plus 21, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Surge, they're big dogs. They're big dog status now, but they get it done here against Carolina. Moving into next week, and then last match, LA Thieves. We got this one wrong as well. Toronto Ultra actually upsets them. I don't know if you can call this an upset. This was more like 2 top dogs battling it out here in this series, and that's what this felt like. Yeah, bro. Toronto's a top 4 lock for me now. This was insane pace here from Kleenex. 121 kills on the series, 121 and 108 with a 1.12 KD. Toronto has greatly improved their hard point. I think that was kind of our question mark with this team. At least last stage was like, we don't know if their hard point is up to par with these top teams. Now it is, man. They're winning a lot of these hard points. So I think that's really scary for other teams, even, guys like LA Thieves that we previously thought were up in like a top 2 situation. That field gets significantly leveled out when Toronto Ultra can hang with them in hardpoint like they did in this series. So, yeah, they're gonna be scary. I'm not super concerned though for LA Thieves. Like I said, I think this was just truly 2 top teams duking this out. Going to a map 5 banger series. So, but yeah, great win from Toronto. What'd you think?
I just think it's nuts that Kleenex had literally 25 plus more engagements than anybody else in the series.
Yeah, yeah. His pace was
like
insane.
if you do the math, I'm pretty sure Hydra had the second most engagements. Um, or I guess Scrap had one. I guess Scrap had 202, and Toby, that's Kleenex, right? Toby,
Yeah, yeah.
he had 220. He had 229. So
Jeez.
27 more engagements than anybody else in the lobby.
Yeah, that's
That's
insane.
just that's insane pace.
Yeah.
So
Which, like, it's weird because Joe Deceives has kind of been their, like, pace bringer more on this team
yeah,
than Kleenex. It's almost been like Kleenex has taken kind of a bit of a step back in terms of that, um, versus his previous Toronto Ultra rosters. But he gets it he gets it fired up in this one. But
I
yeah,
guess I was gonna say like it's scary to have a negative Joe Deceives game. I mean, it was only minus. He was he
yeah.
pretty much 0.99. But he's been playing way better than 0.99. He's been an automatic 1.1, 1.2 plus. But I guess he played pretty decent in the respawns and just struggled in the S&Ds. So yeah.
Yeah, great series from Toronto to close out the weekend here, close out the weekend. But let's move on to the final weekend. Let's take a look ahead at our pick'ems here. Try and do a bit better this time. Let's get it kicked off here. I would go Toronto here just because I'm not a Miami believer. I could see an upset with Miami's momentum, but I wouldn't bet on it. If I am picking this as I think the winner is going to be, I would pick Toronto here.
Dude, are we seriously are we seriously gonna have to pick Miami here?
Dude, like, I think you have to. We haven't picked a single first match right.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess we go Heretics. Heretics 3-2.
dude. I mean, this is
No, but
insane.
this is the 1 week. This is the 1 week, bruh.
You think? Okay. I mean,
Oh,
dude.
oh, I don't know, Sam. Heretics hit the town. They had 2 big wins last week.
You think they're dragging this week? They qualified for winners already. So did Toronto, though, right? Or no, Toronto still
Yeah.
needs to qualify.
Okay.
I don't know,
Who they
dude.
got this weekend? Who they got this weekend? Scroll down. Who the last game of Saturday looks like?
Uh,
Nope. Oh, they.
Toronto plays LAG, so okay. I mean,
Oh. Okay. Okay, we go Heretics 3-2.
all right.
I would have
Uh,
picked Ultra. I would have picked
just
Ultra
just to
easily
make this clear,
3-1.
yeah, I would have picked Ultra 100% in this series. I think Ultra's a better team, and they're gonna come out here and beat Miami. But
But we got a curse that rivals the curse of the Great the Babino.
yeah,
So we've got to break it.
yeah. Okay, well, that's what we'll go here. For match 2, though, we can actually pick who we think. I'm gonna go. I do want to go C9 here, just in terms of storylines. I want to give them a chance to qual for winners. I don't know. I could see Boston winning this, but I'm such a hater and I'm such a Cloud9 glazer. I gotta go Cloud9 here. Um, I don't know. What do you think?
When we were reviewing the matches, I thought I was going to go Breach in this matchup, but I'm down to ride Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, just like how I can see it, like Cloud9 could sneak in, bro, as like a 2-3. And
Yeah,
yeah, like
and
just
then face another top dog and then get slammed again. Yeah, you're
yeah.
right. Yeah, it's Cloud9.
Okay, what do you think? 3-1,
We do.
another one, back to backs.
Nah, never mind. 3-1.
Okay. All right. And then last one, LA Thieves, LAG, obviously LA Thieves here 3-0.
Yep.
And then day
Surge
2,
3-1.
yeah, Surge, 3-1 here. I like that. That's what I had written down as well. Miami versus Rocker. Gonna go
Put
back to
both of them at 2. Put both of them at 2
yeah, yeah, true.
automatically.
2-2. I'm gonna I'm gonna
Heretics
I'm gonna
gets it
go
done.
I'm gonna go Heretics, bro. Dude, I fucking hate this, bro, because you realize we're picking Miami to go 5-0 this stage, right?
5-0.
Yeah, they're 3-0 right now, and they're gonna win this one and win this one, bro.
Nah, Rocker gonna ice up. We can't pick against the first one, so Rocker gonna ice up. This is the week.
All right, they ice up another map 5 for these guys, and they get to 2 and 3 as well with this.
Yeah.
So
It's
They
gonna be
have a
a bang
chance.
out in the middle of 2 and 3. I like that storyline.
Yeah.
3-0, 3-0. We don't even have to talk about.
Yeah. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. Actually, I had FaZe
They can't.
3-1.
Okay.
Let's give them a 3-1 here. Okay. Last
And
match,
Phase is his first
last
map.
day.
Phase is his first map right there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Vegas Falcons versus Boston Breach.
Second win.
For Falcons?
Yeah.
You down? Okay. Well, that'll put us at. Hold on though, because like for the sake
Another
of the
2 and 3 team.
storyline here, oh yeah, Boston would go to 2 and 3. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Falcons get their second one. Add another 2 and 3 team to the mix here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I said. I said I want to go Falcons here to send both teams to 2 and 3, so I would lean Falcons. If you're down with that, I'm down with that. What do we think? Like a 3-1, 3-2 again?
3-2. 3-2.
3-2. Okay. Optic versus FaZe. Weirdly, I could see an upset potentially, but like I'm gonna go FaZe here. Like it just makes the most sense. I mean, only reason I say that is because Optic did play FaZe in scrims and like fucking slam them like 7-1 map count, like last week. But I don't know. I would go FaZe. FaZe. This will be like for FaZe to clinch
Winners.
a
Yeah.
winners, and they're not gonna fuck around with that. So it's like
No.
they're gonna win
And
this
Optic
one.
is dope. Optic's dope. They're gonna lock in. They beat
Yeah.
Optic. Like that
Yeah,
is
I mean this
actual
is
dope.
the
So
it's a banger rivalry series. So yeah, I got FaZe here. What do we think? Does Optic take a map on him? You don't think? All right, yeah.
mm-mm. I think it's gonna be like I can just see it right now. Like Scum's gonna be like, and like they're just like falling apart in a control. They like they choke the hard, or they choke the SND, and then they like, all right, they just get like hooked in the control because they suck at control. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they go 3-0.
All right, bet.
And
And
then this is
then
automatic
yeah,
3-0.
yeah. Never will I ever pick Carolina against the Thieves until they beat them ever. So
Daddy, that's the father-son relationship in this EDL. So
yeah.
save it.
All right. Save predictions. We're locking it in, man. This is insane. We're picking fucking Miami Heretics to beat the Toronto Ultra. We don't want to do
We
this,
might
just
have
to make it clear.
we might be washed.
This is insane, bro. But all
Yeah.
right, we'll see. We'll see. We might break the curse, or, bro, if this shit happens, like we just gotta if this is wrong, we just gotta accept that the curse will always haunt us. I might just stop filling out that game. Just leave it empty. Uh, but
Dude,
well,
we have to now. Are we really about to continue the curse that like the one time the better team actually like wakes up first map of the weekend? Like like we're gonna be so pissed when we lose this one because we know or because we know Ultra's better. And like it's gonna be the one time it actually is the right team. But
yeah,
fuck, we gotta keep it, man. Damn it.
I feel like we're playing into the curse's hands. Well,
Yes, we are. We are.
I mean, I don't even think. Oh, okay, I could change it if I wanted to, but
No, just leave it.
no, let's let it rock. Let it rock. All right, well, yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see. Like we said, I mean, this 2-3, these bottom teams. Maybe I could take a peek at the standings real quick here. CDL standings. What is it? Major 3. So Optic. Let's count on on our fingers here. Potential for it. Breach, Optic, Carolina, Vegas,
Vegas, New York,
Cloud9, Rocker.
Rocker.
So that's 6 teams that could be potentially 2 and 3. And so like where does that start at? Heretics is locked up 1. Thieves is gonna be or Surge is gonna be
I mean,
2.
Face could be too.
Yeah, they still could. Like they're going to be, bro. They're gonna be up there. They're not gonna be 2 and 3. Um so this
Oh,
starts
you're
at
looking at
like
seating?
yeah, like I'm
Okay.
looking at seeding wise. Thieves, I mean, they play Carolina, so they're gonna be up there. And Toronto will be up there. So this starts at 6. So teams 6 through 11 could potentially all be 2 and 3 here this weekend.
Yeah.
And those
And
last
they
3
need 8.
spots come down to map count.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting, man, to see how that plays out. I'm excited. I'm
Yep.
excited to see what the map counts end up telling us. But that's all I've got. That's all we've got this week. We'll be back next week to recap these matches, and then we'll fill out a bracket next week as well. So for Major 3, so I'm excited for that. Now I'm gonna kick you guys over to NFL segment. We've got another special guest on there, a returner. So I'll kick you over there right now. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the NFL segment of the podcast. We are making a return to the NFL here, and I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into it. We haven't talked about the NFL in probably, I don't know, it's been quite a few weeks. I guess since the Super Bowl, I think, the Super Bowl
Mhm.
recap episode. So, shit, it's been a month or so. Yeah, I'm excited to get back into it. We're joined once again by Nick today. Nick is making a return appearance on the podcast. And of course, we've got Drew on here still. You guys would have seen the CDL segment by now, so I don't need to introduce him. But Nick, how we doing? How we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a while since I've been on the podcast here for Killstreaks and Kickoffs. But yeah, I'm excited to share my draft opinions. I really haven't talked about it really to anyone so far. So yeah, I'm excited to be here and to share my thoughts.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you back, of course. What we're going to be doing today, we don't want to do an entire mock draft. I feel like that would take a really long time doing that for every single 32 teams and giving each of our opinions on it. So, what Nick kind of threw out there was we just randomly generate or randomly ask ChatGPT here for an NFL franchise. And what we'll do is ask them for a team, and then we're going to go take a look at kind of what their draft position is, and then the prospects that are going to kind of be available there around their pick, and kind of each of us maybe give somebody that we think that would be a great fit for them, or that would improve them, or whatnot. We can agree, or if we end up having the same person, whatever. We'll go as we go through it, but yeah, we're just going to kind of be going here, offering our GM services to some lucky, very lucky NFL organizations, blessing them with the services that we have to offer here, and turning some programs around potentially. But yeah, without further ado, let's ask ChatGPT here, um, randomly select an NFL team for me. Do not repeat the same team. Seattle Seahawks. That's who we
Ooh.
are starting with here. So let's take a look here down at the Seattle Seahawks. What pick do they have? They are
18.
round 1, pick 18. I don't know. Nick, do you have notes on this at all, or notes on your draft prospects for these guys? Or have you filled out any mock drafts that you want to throw something out at first, and then me and Drew can kind of look over, what we've got here, and see if we agree with it, or what have you done so far?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have any notes on me, but I have a general idea of like some of the prospects that'll be around the Seattle Seahawks or who they may take.
Uh-huh.
I did a mock draft on my YouTube channel
I
probably a month ago. This.
There's also a great thing you could pull up, Sam. I just looked up Seattle Seahawks off-season moves, and the first link is actually a really good one. Because I was just, I get lost sometimes in the off-season about
Oh
what
yeah.
all happens. Obviously, DK Metcalf traded, um,
It's
and
ESPN
Tyler
though.
Lockett. Tyler Lockett cut. Mine was actually Seahawks team,
Yeah, it's the
and it was
Seahawks
really good.
actual.
Seahawks transactions.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and it's really good. So I had forgot they had signed Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah, and then they got rid of Tyler Lockett as well.
yep,
So
Tyler, and then DK
And
obviously
DK
gone.
obviously.
So
Yep. Yep.
they still have Njigba. They still they acquired Cooper Cup to a
and
3-year
Steven.
contract, I believe. So yeah, so for like my general idea of this is I feel like the Seattle Seahawks are kind of difficult because they have a kind of a multiple holes that they could fill with this pick, and with them sitting in the middle pack of the first round, it's kind of difficult to scope like who they may take. But I'll just throw some names out. I mean, obviously there's names on the screen right here, but someone I do like that's not named here is Jihad Campbell, linebacker for Alabama. I think he's someone that could fit really well in Mike McDaniel's not scheme. But also, again, a wide receiver could also make a lot of sense. I mean, they have Jackson Smith and Jigba, of course. They acquired Cooper Cup, but I mean, he's like past his prime, but he signed to a 3-year contract, so they still have belief in him. Someone like Matthew Golden makes a lot of sense. Someone that could take the top off of the defense with his speed and athleticism there as a vertical threat. Yeah, so those are some of the guys that I have named. But if I could name one person, I think it'd particularly be in the interior offensive line. I think that throughout the years, the Seattle Seahawks have had a difficult time, having stability on their offensive line. They have Charles Cross at the left tackle position, who actually has improved quite well for them, and he's been really solid as a young left tackle. But specifically in their interior offensive line, so someone like Tyler Booker, Kelvin Banks, who's listed as a tackle but could transition to the guard position. I think those are some names that you could really look out for the Seattle Seahawks here.
Cool.
Yeah, I was kind
Follow
of
it up.
yeah. I'll follow it up. I don't know. I mean, obviously the Seahawks went in and got Darnold, but you get rid of DK, you get rid of Lockett, and you go Cooper Cup. I'm just really. This is really a tough team because I don't know. Obviously, they got like a newer, I mean, the second year head coach. But this team isn't ready to win. I don't think they're anywhere near competing. Like their division's pretty weak. I mean, the Niners have scaled down. Cardinals aren't anything to write home about. And then who's the last team in that division?
Rams.
Rams. Yeah,
Yeah.
they also stink. So like, I guess the Seahawks could win the division. So I guess it's not like worth blowing it up. But I think if I'm kind of looking at the Eagles, and like the Eagles had some years like this where they weren't horrible. I think you got to build interior, and I think like the Steelers played the Seahawks last year, and we rumbled on them. So it's either got to be I would go interior D line or O line. It's because like I'm thinking about if I think of the Seahawks right now, the team they've got, like their DBs are disgusting. They got Cody Bryant back there, Devon Witherspoon, who's the Tariq Woolen. So I think they're good in the secondary. Linebackers decent. I know they got Leonard Williams and stuff in the D line, but like, I think I would agree with Nick and go whatever, like, left guard prospect. I looked at their depth chart and they only have one left guard right now. So maybe I would invest this pick in a left guard.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying as well. I mean, obviously, like the glaring hole is you lose 2 receivers from this roster, so you like wide receiver is the position that's kind of jumping out as the obvious choice. But realistically, I think this draft is like pretty stacked with a lot of receiver talent, especially like up front. So I mean, you've got guys like Ted McMillan there. I don't know if he'll be here by 18.
I don't think he will. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't even mention that.
So it's like, obviously, if a situation like that where Ted McMillan is there, then that makes sense. But realistically, I don't know if that's happening. Matthew Golden, I do think is a great prospect, but I don't know if right now that's like a super elevating pick. I agree, Drew. Like the way that you take a team like this right now that has some decent weapons. I mean, you've got Smith and Jigba in there. You got Cooper Kupp, who is obviously very established. Kenneth Walker there at the running back position. The running back position in general is really deep. So I think they have the weapons it takes for an offense. So I don't know if this team really needs to draft Colson Loveland like they kind of recommended here. But a team like this with reasonable weapons, I think you just go O-line at the very least. So they recommended there Josh Simmons. We all know me. I'm a big Buckeyes guy, so obviously would be a great fit for any NFL team, of course. But you go O-line, or like you mentioned, Drew, beefing up the D-line as well is just as good as a move. I mean, we saw how good the Eagles team. I know you made that parallel there. Um, this Eagles defense was, especially their front seven, and you can't go wrong with guys like Mark Green, with guys like Shamir Stewart to just beef up that D line. It really is like it's like an X factor
That's
position
available.
almost. Yeah, that's
That
available right
that is
now.
true.
So it's
That's
like,
what I would. It would just do best available if I'm them, outside of
yeah,
quarterback, outside of running back, and outside of secondary players.
exactly. And
So,
so, yeah, I totally agree with you guys. I think that's where you're at with the Seattle Seahawks. They're not in a bad spot at all by any means. So,
but like if some prospect gets arrested 2 days before, or a picture leaks of him hitting a bong, and they slide to 18, if I'm the Seahawks, I'm scooping him up. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at right here with the Seahawks pick.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think you have a lot you can work with here if you're the Seahawks. Here, but all right, well, cool. That's the Seattle Seahawks. Let's throw up another team here. In ChatGPT. Pick another. The Baltimore Ravens. Anthony would love this discourse. I'm sure
Quarterback.
he's going to love hearing about this. What are they? They are pick 27
27.
here. Okay, well, Nick, you want to get it kicked off again?
Yeah, so they have the top names at safety, and that makes a lot of sense because they just got rid of Marcus Williams. So they need another primary safety there. I think that one of Malachi Starks or Nick Emenwari will be there. Most likely Malachi Starks after Nick Emenwari's combine performance where he absolutely just killed it. Though that I think that Malachi Starks, in my opinion, is the better player. Yeah, if one of those two players end up dropping to pick 27, I think the Baltimore Ravens will pick one of them up. In my mock draft, I mocked Malachi Starks to them. They always just draft really well, especially in the first, day one, day two, rounds. So, yeah, they usually just go best player available. But another position they could address is definitely the defensive line as well. Players like Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan could
You
possibly
think
be there as well as James Pierce.
you
Yeah, what are
think
you gonna say?
so? I kind of think like with Matabike and stuff that their D line is the Ravens D line as a Steelers fan is always going to be pretty stout.
Right.
But I think an area whenever we were playing the Ravens this year, like I agree with you, they're going to have to fill that safety spot. So those two guys you named, if they're there, especially like getting them and then having them learn under Kyle Hamilton. I know he plays, you know, different type of safety, but like it's just still a guy they can learn under at safety. With Nate Wiggins, they could have a really good young secondary, but Trenton Simpson trying to fill the Patrick Queen role, um, it just didn't look good, and
Right.
so I could see them going like right outside line or right inside linebacker, like another middle linebacker, because Trenton Simpson was getting cooked and I lived with Anthony, so
Yeah.
believe me, I would
So
hear all about Trenton Simpson. So I could see them if a good inside linebacker falls.
yeah, if Jihad Campbell were to fall to 27, this would be like a great pick for them. But there's only really just him as a linebacker prospect that will be like a potential
Really,
first round
it's
pick. Yeah, that's what's been predicted so far through mock drafts.
it's a
But
bad
yeah,
position.
yeah, it's bad
Well,
position.
actually, let me interject. Sorry to once again interrupt, but
Oh, you're okay.
I actually got one person that I think the
Okay.
Ravens could draft. Let's just say not. We'll just say not first round, but I think the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker is washed. I think
I
they're
know.
going to draft Ben Sauls. I think they should go Ben Sauls with this pick, because Justin Tucker is a bum now.
Yeah, I mean, they need a kicker, low key, because after all those allegations on him. But yeah, so my pick for this pick would be one of the safeties.
I think Emin Warry's
Oh,
going to be there.
you think so?
Yep.
I think he'll be picked I think some team is gonna reach on him, but
Okay.
we'll
I
see.
think these teams in the high 20s are going to get they're going to get like the teams from like 20 to 25 will get really after it on receivers, and then yeah, I think there's going to be a receiver run, and he'll just be sitting there for
Yeah.
them.
Do you think Starks and Emma Warrior are going to be there?
I just think Moore is going to be there.
You aren't buying into the combine performance.
I just don't think the teams are.
Okay.
I think the teams like see the Georgia in front of them, and they know that hit
Yeah.
rate is just absurd. So I think they go Starks first.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I agree. I think safety is a glaring hole for this team. I don't think I pull up articles as well to the left of me for each of these teams as we're going, just of like general team needs. One of them was corner. I didn't know that they signed Chidobe Awuzie as a free agent. So
Ooh.
I think that corner is not something that's necessarily needed. I agree with Drew. I don't think the D line is as much of a problem. But you can never go bad with like a good edge, bro. Like I said, it's like an X factor position. It's a superstar position in the NFL. If you can hit on an edge, like it just beefs up
Yeah.
the team's defense so much, man. So James Pierce Jr., I would not hate that pick. He played against Ohio State in the playoff game. I think he had a sack. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, that's
yeah,
not a bad call either, because like Van Noy is getting like he can't keep doing this. You know what I mean?
Right.
He
yeah,
can't keep getting
Yeah.
away with this shit. He's gonna fall apart at some point.
And also
So,
Michael Pierce retired for them as well. So you can never go wrong just having enough great, D linemen on your team.
yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, that's where I would go if you do address the D line. I don't know about interior wise for them, but and then yeah, I mean, offensively, again, O-line, you can't go wrong with that. Receiver, I do want to make a comment on receiver for the Ravens. Like, we always say, like, these guys need to draft a goddamn receiver. But, like, they keep just booking it or winging it with receiver, and it keeps getting them to
Yeah.
AFC Championship games. So it's like, at this point, bro, like, you have Lamar Jackson.
And I want to add on to that because the Ravens have like a fetish of like signing these like washed
Yeah.
old
Because
ass
of
wide
Diop, right?
receivers. Yeah, Diop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
D-Hop, OBJ. Like what the hell, man? Like
Yeah. So,
yeah,
like,
they have like a weird obsession with that.
it is what
yeah.
it is what it is with the Ravens and their receivers. I don't see them going
I
that way.
I also think that like I just think like I thought about receiver because like you said, Sam, it's just so disgusting looking in the receiver room. But man, like there's just no point of them draft. Like I just don't think any of the guys they draft at 27 like gets utilized their full potential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Bateman and like Zay. Like Zay's been the best like plug and play guy. But like Bateman, it's been 4 years and finally he's he's getting it going. I just don't think the Ravens system is that great for receivers. So yeah, I just don't think I will not see them wasting a first round pick on a receiver here.
Yeah, me neither. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I think I probably would agree with Drew. Those teams love to see that Georgia, bro. Starks will be gone first, so Emin Warrior would be my pick for this pick, I guess, if we want to pinpoint a player, but I would not hate a James Pierce Jr. At all. So, yeah, that's the Ravens.
Let's get a team up top. Let's get a team
I
up
know,
top
yeah.
here.
Do me to
Yeah,
just
let's
kind of keep telling it to go if we like get another bottom.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if this is the Chiefs,
Detroit Lions.
Oh.
the
Yeah.
Detroit Lions should draft the kid from Michigan, the interior lineman. I literally just saw that. Kenneth Grant. There you go. He's a Lion.
Pick again. Cardinals. Where are they? They're still pretty high
They're
too,
like
right?
the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 16. We already kind of did that. I mean,
In that same division too. They've got a lot of issues to fill.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're just going to be an interior lineman pick.
Okay.
Titans.
Well, I mean,
Titans. Here
we
go.
can give a brief statement on the Tennessee Titans, but
Well, let's just
Yeah.
pull up the Twitch clips. Pull up the bottom.
yeah, Twitch has the Cam Ward.
Yeah,
I
Drew,
mean,
when we
that's
were
all you got
talking
to
about
know.
that, I didn't realize that was like Twitch chat. I didn't realize he was
Yeah.
streaming saying that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cam Ward, if you guys are not familiar, I mean everybody's online if you're listening to this, but his favorite coach is Brian Callahan. His favorite top 2 running backs in the league are Spears and Pollard. And then he thinks Calvin Ridley and Treylon Burks are top 4 receivers. So I think we can summarize who's going 1.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
But
I mean,
let's just give some thoughts. What do we think
Yeah.
about that pick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
yes. So I like Cam Ward. I mean, I feel like you guys would have the same sentiment as well, especially with Sam. I mean, he was like one of your top guys you guys wanted out of the transfer portal, right?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
OSU.
We should have fucking got him, bro. But hey, it all worked out. It all worked out.
Yeah, it all worked out. I mean, this has been pretty much set in stone since like probably the end of the combine. Um, but yeah, Cameron Ward, yeah, I think with the Tennessee Titans, you really just have to take a chance on like a franchise kind of quarterback. I think Cameron Ward has all the tools and capabilities of being someone at that next level that could be a franchise quarterback. But with these quarterbacks, you never know. Like it's always hit or miss for them. I would like Abdul Carter. I think he would fit really well to the Tennessee Titans if they didn't have like a quarterback need. He could really be just a difference maker on the edge for them. So if I were the Tennessee Titans GM, I would probably give Will Levis another shot and just draft Abdul Carter. But that's just my opinion. I think Cameron Ward's still a fine pick with the first overall pick here, though.
I got a thought from what you were saying, Nick. I'm cool with Cam Ward being the number 1 overall pick. Cameron Ward, I'd be a little skeptical. If he's going full name action,
Yeah.
the aura
If he's coming
drops.
into the NFL as Cameron Ward, yeah, that's gonna be a little
Like I'm
different.
not shivering in my boots playing against Cameron Ward. Come on, Cameron. I've met a
But
lot of
Cam,
Camerons, but Cam, okay, that's respectable. So, yeah, I'm just telling him name change. Let's drop the Urun.
That's fair. That's fair.
So,
My thoughts on it are Cam Ward is, I'll say Cam Ward is a tier above the other quarterbacks in this draft class, in my opinion. I think it's clear that that's the case. I'm not buying into the SHEDEUR standards. I'm not hating on SHEDEUR, but I do think Cam Ward is like a step above the rest of the guys. I'm very his nonchalant shit is not gonna work like in the NFL. I mean, I watched a lot of his clips this year. Honestly, I feel like I watched a lot of Miami games for some
Crazy.
reason. And just like not even the plays that like the clips that we all see him blow up, like just some of the way that he plays. In some case, I don't think it's gonna fly at the NFL level, but that's such a coachable thing. They will NFL coaches will tighten that shit the fuck up. So I'm not worried
it
at
was
all
just such
about
like
him.
a nonchalant drop back. Like every time I watched him, like I
Yeah.
can't imagine if
Oh
he
yeah.
gives a hard 3-step drop and lets it sing. Like I feel like it could go one of 2 ways. Like I personally think it'll be like they'll grill him, they'll have him right 3-step drop, and like he's just gonna be slinging it. But maybe it could go like maybe he just is incapable of doing that, which could be bad. But I think he's got all the tools. He's above SHEDEUR by a lot,
Yeah.
no
Yeah, I
doubt.
agree. I think he's a step above for sure. So I don't hate this pick at all. I think that's the only quarterback that you do this with if you're the Titans. So yeah, I agree though, Nick. I think Abdul Carter is Michael Parsons 2.0, obviously number 11, and you're not gonna be able to go wrong with him. So I've always been kind of a proponent of if there's like a potential generational talent on the board, take that over a quarterback, and that may be the case here with Abdul Carter. But um, since you have Cam Ward here, that is a clear tier above the rest of the other quarterbacks. Maybe not a generational Hall of Fame career expectations for Cam Ward, but potential for like some elite level of play for sure. So I don't hate the pick at all.
You're not going anywhere in the league. You're not going anywhere in the league with Will Levis, a quarterback. You gotta
No,
You got to
Yep.
fill that issue. You'll be back this exact same pick if you go Abdul Carter next year, or if
Yeah.
you go Abdul Carter this year. Like, I don't know. I think take your swing.
Yeah, I mean, it'll help them for sure. That offense can use anything. So
Let's see it. ChatGPT.
yeah, let's move on here to next team. Pick again. Who we got? The New York Giants, and they're pretty
All
close.
right. Yeah.
They're at 3. Okay, yeah. What are we thinking for the Giants here?
Yeah, so this one's pretty tough. There's a lot of smoke around this. I mean, for a long time it's been SHEDEUR here. But as time moves along, it's getting kind of certain that SHEDEUR is gonna probably drop in the draft. It's kind of difficult. I think the Cleveland is because so we have one Tennessee Titans. They're definitely gonna go Cam Ward. Two Cleveland Browns. If we don't get on
They're
touch
gonna go
base on
Hunter.
them, yeah, I think they're gonna go Hunter. And so this gives a little dilemma because I think they should for sure 100% draft Abdul Carter, but they also have Brian Burns at the edge. They have Kayvon Thibodeau at the edge. So does Kayvon Thibodeau potentially become a trade candidate for them? Do they stick and pick Abdul Carter? Do they move back and get draft capital? That's really interesting. So yeah, if at pick 3, and I definitely you have to draft either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter with this pick. I wouldn't be surprised if all the smoke screen and they end up just drafting SHEDEUR here. The GM recently talked, I think it's yesterday, how they talked about how they had Russ and they're like, oh, I don't think now that we have Russ that quarterback is such a pressing need anymore. So that could be smoke, that could be real. Who knows? It's always misfire here when it comes to draft season. But yeah, those are my thoughts for the New York Giants here.
You gonna go next, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious. It is really dependent, I think, on what the Cleveland Browns do here.
They're going Hunter. They're going Hunter.
You
Like
think?
everything I keep seeing is
Yeah,
Hunter, Hunter,
that's
Hunter.
what
The
I've been
GM's like
seeing
raving about
too.
Hunter,
Hmm.
so it's
Yeah, okay.
Hunter.
So I mean, if Hunter's gone, I don't think like if you're drafting for the sake of wide receiver here from him, I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the hell the Cleveland Browns do with Travis Hunter, but I don't know. If you're the Giants, I don't think the next best option, I guess, as like a skill position is Ted McMillan. I wouldn't go this yet. If you were looking at Hunter for the cornerback position, I don't know. I wouldn't hate Will Johnson, but I love corners, and so I may be giving him too much credit. Um, Even though he is from Michigan, I just like the corner position and always like teams that draft corners early um, because of just the impact that the position has in general. But realistically, man, Abdul Carter just makes the most sense here for the Giants. I like what you said, Nick, about the Kayvon Thibodeau potentially becoming a trade option. Um, if they don't want to trade Thibodeau, I could also see Mason Graham as more interior, just beefing up that line and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm very curious to see if they do end up going with SHEDEUR. It wouldn't be a shocker because yeah, I don't know. Deion Sanders and SHEDEUR Sanders camp likes to telegraph things. Likes to, like you said, Nick, smoke and mirrors. Giants may be trying to counteract what he's saying and shit. So this may just be SHEDEUR Sanders all the way. Personally, if I'm the Giants, I'm fine rocking with Russ and maybe going, Abdul Carter ideally. I think it's a generational talent, but if you want to stay away from edge because of what you have stacked, maybe going with like a Mason Graham here. But if I were the Giants, I'm going Abdul Carter.
Yeah, I want to preface and say one thing is I have no idea where the hell SHEDEUR is gonna go in this draft. Like there has been so much smoke with his name. Like he could go as high as in the top 5, or he could not even be a first round pick. So yeah, this draft is really weird in my opinion because
He will be a first round pick.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think so
Go
too.
here.
It's just
What do you think?
yeah. What do you think?
I heard they had him in for like a secret workout this week. And the Giants, their owner loves getting involved in shit. So this pick could be so weird. I really, really would not surprise me if it's SHEDEUR here. But if Carter's there, it'd be tough to pass. But like,
Right.
I'm just thinking of the like where they're at. So obviously they don't have the quarterback solution. I don't think you go. I think you'll be back in this kind of same spot next year. So I don't, and it's not a great class behind Cam Ward. So I think you just leave it. Next year's better. And the thing that just worries me about like the Giants is like, I mean, Nick, would you disagree? Like their O line is just not that great. It's not been that great for a while.
Yeah.
Like it's been
Yeah.
bad.
It's been
They
bad.
missed on Evan Neal. So like I don't even know if I would hate one of the best offensive, like I would get maybe Will Campbell. Like beef up this offensive line, let this guy have it be their second year offensive tackle when they do draft a quarterback next year or something like that. But it's going to be really tough. Like I wouldn't hate them going Will Campbell, but if Carter's sitting there, do you really believe in the mid results Thibodeau's been giving you for the last couple of years? Like we'll see what they do.
Cool. Well, yeah. That's the Giants for you guys. Let's we're at about 30 minutes right now of this segment here. So, what if do you guys want to do, since we've got a Steelers fan and an Eagles fan in here, you guys want to do each of your teams and then we'll call it a segment?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sure.
All right. Let's do I guess let's do the Steelers here first. Round 1, pick 21 here. Another middle of the pack, and then Eagles will obviously be here at the end at 32. But Drew, do you wanna get us started for your thoughts here on what the hell you think you guys should do?
I honestly, I'm gonna swing the rock. I'm gonna be point guard. I'm gonna swing the rock to Nick. I've seen, as a Steelers fan, I've seen so much about this, and I'm as lost as anybody. Um, I just know the Steelers won't draft a first round receiver, especially with DK and George now. I don't hate their second. Like that's not gonna be safety. I know that. So Nick, what do you think it's gonna be here?
Yeah, so this one is really perplexing because the biggest position that you guys need is quarterback, and you haven't really had, figured a solution out. I mean, the Aaron Rodgers situation is still TBD, but eventually. I mean, he was on Pat McAfee's show today, right? And he was talking about all his life shit, and how he wasn't too sure. He was ready to make a commitment for a team, but
Fire him into the
yeah,
sun.
no, actually,
I can't
that man
stand
just needs to retire. That man just needs to retire
bro.
because
Hang it
he is
up.
such a diva. But yeah, besides the Aaron Rodgers point, I mean, you guys have Mason Rudolph as your starting quarterback as of now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if someone like, let's say hypothetically SHEDEUR falls here, I mean, you have to take a swing on him, correct? Even
That's
Jackson
what I
Dart,
think. That's what I think will. It wouldn't surprise me, man. If SHEDEUR
right?
falls to us, I think they would pick him. But then that's what my thoughts have been until I saw something today that like he had a horrible interview with the Steelers and they're not drafting him. But
Yes,
everything is smoke and mirrors at this point. Like I
right,
don't know anything. Jackson Dart wouldn't surprise me, but like I think the team has a little bit of PTSD from the Kenny Pickett draft.
right. But
We
my question for you is like at that pick 21, if do you take a chance like if you take a chance on a quarterback and they hit, then you get a franchise quarterback, correct? But if you like take another position, like
mm,
how much difference would that affect for the
yeah, but
future? Because
yeah, I know what you're saying, but like
unless
I
someone falls, of course.
like what? It's just a wasted first round pick if you're just you're playing a lottery ball at this point,
Right.
picking a quarterback. It's exactly where we were for Kenny Pickett, like late first round pick, where it's like this guy could be it, but the chances are slim. I just don't want us to go quarterback again, and like I'm just going through the depth chart in my head. Obviously, not receiver. Our offensive line is all young and good. Like we got two really good guards, really good center. We used a first round pick last year on a tackle, and then we have Broderick Jones. So I think we're set on offense. We're not going to use our first round pick on a running back. That'll be later in the draft. So it's only quarterback there, and then like I don't know. I could see. I think what the Steelers will end up doing is either corner or interior D lineman.
Okay, yeah.
That's
What do you
I
think?
think it's going to be interior D lineman is what
What
I
do you
think
think
this
about
year.
a potential trade back though? Because I know you guys don't have a second round pick this year as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I could definitely.
that's what I was just thinking.
Yes.
Like
I
I
mean,
didn't
if
think about that.
if
yeah, so if I'm the Steelers, if SHEDEUR drops, I would for sure take my swing on SHEDEUR Sanders. Um, I honestly don't mind Jackson Dart.
me neither.
I know he's been getting a lot of first round buzz. I know you have a lot of scared opinions because of the Kenny Pickett situation, but I think it's like if you do hit, I mean, there are quarterbacks that have been like not top 10 quarterbacks that still have played extremely well, like Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts. I mean, if you take a shot at Jackson Dart and like he does end up hitting, I mean, then you have your franchise quarterback. You know what I mean? But I mean, obviously, if he doesn't hit, of course, then you go through the same cycle all over again. So I understand that. So, but yeah,
I just can't. I don't know. Like I'm a big storyline, or like I'm using my crystal ball right now,
hmm
and you're telling me 2, 3, 4 years from now, it's Jackson Dart competing with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, Lamar Jackson. It just,
hey,
I
I
mean,
didn't
it
I
can
didn't
be
see that
anybody.
with Jalen Hurts. Okay, I did not see that at all with Jalen Hurts. Things happen though. You know what I mean? Things can happen.
He's just under Lane Kiffin. He's already in an explosive offense. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
man. But if I could see, I kind of like what you guys are saying about the second round pick, or like the trading. This
Mhm.
could be a spot where one of those safeties, a team wants them,
Right.
and
Yeah.
like we're like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's move back a little bit. Like I don't
K2
know.
capital.
Yeah, like I
Uh,
don't know what's up with the Bills secondary anymore. I know it's been like they're all over the place with that shit. So I could see the Bills like maybe wanting to get up here and get one of these good DBs. So I don't know. The Steelers is it's the Steelers. So
Yeah, I think I'm kind of I was literally sitting through just looking through the roster. I mean, you guys literally have like everything checked except quarterback for the most part. I mean, obviously there are a few holes here and there that you could improve on, but uh, it's the glaring hole is obviously quarterback. It sucks that you guys are a 9-8 team every single year and get the 20th pick in the draft every single time because you don't get your swing at that elite talent. And I
yeah.
think SHEDEUR is potentially for that uh, your chance to actually do that finally. So if that ends up happening, I agree. You definitely take your swing there at SHEDEUR. I'm in the same boat as Nick with Jackson Dart here. I'm much higher on him. I get the Kenny Pickett
PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah, I get it.
K2 gross.
I am much higher on Jackson Dart than I was on Kenny Pickett, bro. I wasn't a super big fan of him coming out of Pitt personally. Jackson Dart, on the other hand, played in the SEC, played against much better competition all year long than Kenny Pickett did in the Cupcake ACC. And yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart has seen NFL talent more than likely a lot more than Kenny Pickett has, seen defenses a lot more than Kenny Pickett has, and or did, I guess, in his time at college. So bottom line is I'm higher on Jackson Dart than I was on Kenny Pickett here, and I wouldn't hate that pick at all. But I also understand here if the Steelers, if SHEDEUR's not there, I would probably be in the camp of trade to a team, potentially get something out of them that are worried that Starks, Ram, and Worry are going to be gone by the time that they're up. Um, that's what I would do personally, I guess, if SHEDEUR's not there. But we'll
Yeah, the
see.
Steelers have such a good hit rate on thirds and stuff
Yeah.
like that I really could see them trading this pick for a second and a third, get the
hmm
kid out of Iowa at running back, and then just continue to build.
hmm
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, and then they might even take a stab at that like Fresno State kid or whatever. I forget where he's from, but there was a decent quarterback from a smaller school. So, yeah, let's see the Eagles now.
All right. Eagles here at round 1, pick 32. Yeah, Nick, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead there.
I wish we had the first overall pick.
Yeah, that'd be nice, huh?
Yeah, so the Eagles, I mean, we just won a Super Bowl. So, yeah, I mean, there's not really we just have a lot of talent. We did lose a lot, specifically in free agency. Josh Sweat left, Milton Williams. We re-signed Zach Bondo, so we didn't really do much to replace them, especially in the free agency. Primarily because we have to save money to re-sign Jalen Carter, potentially Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, all those young, upcoming players in our defense. But yeah, so like if you look at all of our free agency signings, they're like fucking pennies and nickels, actually. So we didn't.
1-year deal.
Yeah, we didn't do anything, and also we traded CJ Gardner-Johnson, which is still really baffling to me. I still don't understand it. I think it's really just cap situation, honestly.
Yeah.
And then also Dallas Goedert is on the trade block as well. So with
Is he
this
really?
pick, yeah, so he's been on the trade block. So I want to say for like about a month since free
Wow.
agency. Yeah, so I think it's because he's also due for a contract extension, and
He doesn't. He's just not
we're just
available
saving
enough.
money. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't hate that from the Eagles.
so I mean, with this pick, they can go a whole lot of situations. In my opinion, as an Eagles fan, I would love to see them going specifically either defensive line or offensive line. Someone like Walter Nolan, if he were to fall, but I don't think he would, or Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Really anyone, because you're really playing with like tweeners of first round talent and second round talent with this pick. In my opinion, I think the Eagles will most likely trade out of this pick with like some team that may potentially, if a quarterback's sitting there, trade in and get a 5th-year option with the first round pick contracts. But yeah, I really want to address the defensive line primarily because we lost Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. Yeah, it's really a pretty big need for us. I've seen Donovan Izaraku as a potential name. I like him, but I don't really like his build in my opinion because he's kind of smaller. He's hovering around that 250 weight range, and he's probably like I think 6'3", 6'4". So he's a little bit on the smaller side in terms of edge, and we already have a smaller guy in Nolan Smith. Someone that I would like as a potential trade up if he were to like, kind of slip is Mikael Williams out of Georgia. I think has a little bigger stature. Someone I like out on the edge position. But yeah, this pick could really go any other way. I could see them trading back. I don't see them drafting a wide receiver. I mean, I don't. I mean, but if like my philosophy, and especially in the first rounds, is you draft best player available, right? I think we can all agree on that. I mean,
That's what the Eagles do.
that's what
That's
they've
literally
done.
the Eagles.
Yeah, that's what they've done ever since that Jalen Reagor mishap. And so this pick can really go any which way. It's really hard to scope who they're gonna take. And in my opinion, as an Eagles fan, like I really wouldn't be mad whoever the hell they take because I mean we just won the Super Bowl. We really don't have like a pressing need that we just have to draft this position in order to succeed. Yeah, so those are my thoughts for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Drew, you want to go or want me to go next?
I kind of just want to. I don't have. I mean, Nick knows. I mean, he's the draft expert and he knows his team well. I just wanted to bounce a question off him and hear his thoughts. I mean, CJ Gardner-Johnson gone, Slay gone, somebody else gone. A lot of depth in that secondary gone.
Yeah. Secondary is low-key a pressing. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. Like, yeah, is it a pressing need? Because that's kind of what I was wondering. Like, obviously, there's Cooper DeJean and
Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, so actually, it's low-key a pressing need because, yeah, like you said, we only have like 3 core starters that are going to be there next year in Reed Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. So with that outside cornerback position, besides Quinyon Mitchell, is available And so if someone were to fall, I mean, like there are some really good cornerback prospects in this year's draft. I really like someone like Maxwell Harrison out of Kentucky, who's like probably in this range to go around here. I like him a lot. In terms of safety, if like Malachi Starks or Nick Amori were somehow to just be here still, like go ahead, sign me up. Though the Eagles, I'm pretty sure have never drafted a safety in the first round. So
So they're not trading up for the Steelers pick. Is what you're telling me.
no, the thing is, I've actually seen some like mocks of them trading with the Steelers pick, but I think it would be for a defensive lineman that they really like a Mikael Williams, like a Walter Nolan potentially. Yeah, someone like that as a
Nice.
potential trade up. But they do have like a good amount of picks this year. So I'm not really too sure, and they have quite a lot of picks potentially next year with a lot of comp picks that are coming their way. So I'm not too sure like if they really necessarily have a need to trade back. I mean, if someone's there that they like, they just stick and pick. So I think it's in terms of ranking what they would do. I think sticking picking might be number one. Two would be trading back, and three would be trading up.
Sure. I got no
Um,
other thoughts on that.
you said you got no other.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just say here, AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are gonna blow up. They're not gonna work eventually. It's gonna come to a point. They won their ring. It's like the optic roster, Drew, that we probably were talking about earlier in this, man. They won their ring. After this, bro, these two, they're not gonna be
Egos.
able to do it together anymore, and they're gonna blow it up. This wide receiver quarterback duo. I'm telling you right now, draft Amika Ibuka. You have a Hall of Famer wide
Uh,
receiver in the camp immediately, right then and there. You have a Hall of
I really
Famer.
like Ibuka too.
Nah,
I mean,
I
if
really,
if Ibuka would really be here at 32, like
yeah.
I would love taking him here because
Uh, actually, I think you're right, Sam. I think that I mean, the glue that was holding those two together was them like needing to win it all. I think it's gonna get ugly, especially if the Eagles struggle a little bit. And I think what the Eagles are gonna do is listen to Cam Ward. AJ Brown's good, but give me Traylon Burks. I think they swap back. I
Oh,
think they send AJ Brown back to Tennessee and take Traylon Burks.
yeah, yeah. Um, but I don't know. Obviously if Amiga Buka's there, I like that pick for these guys. I was thinking the exact same question that you had, Drew, about corner position. Um, I would not hate going corner here. Nick, you mentioned Maxwell Hairston. Siobhan Rebel Jr. though, man, that's my boy from my dynasty.
yeah,
That's
dude.
my
And if he didn't get injured, he would have
yeah.
been a like a top 15 pick. He was really good.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I mean, I liked him. I
you're rooting
actually
for him, huh?
I'm rooting
You
for him
coach
for
him.
sure. For sure, he's like my son, like my
Yeah,
football son, my college
yeah,
football son. So yeah, I wouldn't hate corner here. I mean, like you mentioned, they've got Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. They did sign recently. I saw in here they signed Adoree Jackson. I like that
yeah,
signing. So that's
yeah.
definitely help with it, but I mean that's a 1 year deal, man. Potentially some of these guys are guys that could be on rosters for much longer than that and give you a lot more value. So I would lean.
How the
Can I
hell
say
did
something?
Titans
Oh wait,
Huh?
yeah. Give me your thought, and then let me say one more thing after you give me your pick here.
finish up, Sam?
Yeah, no, I was just saying I would lean corner here, maybe like a Maxwell Hairston, Siobhan Revel,
Yeah.
Yeah,
personally. So if they don't trade it.
yeah. And I wanted to say one more thing. As an Eagles fan, and as you guys as Sam as an OSU fan, in my entire life as an Eagles fan, I've never seen the Eagles draft an OSU player.
Oh
So
wow.
please, Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman, if you're listening to this podcast, which you probably are, um,
Yeah.
please take a swing on some OSU player. I would love to see that. I would love to see Sam root for him as an Eagles
They'll
player.
leave
So
that
yeah,
to the Steelers. They'll leave that to the Steelers. We'll draft them all. Where's the Tennessee Titans? Why do they not have the 33rd pick?
Good
yeah, that's
question.
actually a good question.
Yeah, I don't know how
The
that
hell?
worked out. Uh, do they have a
Maybe it's off. Maybe they
Tennessee
forgot them.
Titans draft picks? 5. Oh, they have
Number
35.
35.
I
That's
guess
so weird.
that's weird. I don't know.
That's great.
Damn, so they have
Lucky
a chance to
Brown.
pick up more potential like fringe talent, like you said,
Yeah.
here with the
I mean, those are
36
some
pick
great
as well.
names too at that pick. So
Yeah.
They're gonna go Buka.
Book.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, yeah, that's everything. Wanted to touch on. We're at 49 minutes here, so definitely glad we didn't do a true mock draft
yeah.
because that might have taken 10 hours. Because yeah, I mean, we hit like, I don't know, we hit Seahawks, Ravens, Titans, Giants. So we just went through
Steelers,
6
Eagles.
teams and took that long.
No.
So, yeah, but that was cool. Those teams, you're welcome. My Venmo is
Yep.
Sam X Reed. If the front offices want to send me funds for this advice here, I'll divide it amongst the co-hosts here evenly. So
Or just shout us out when you win it all.
yeah.
Or when you're
So-
getting the gold jacket.
But that was a lot of fun. This will be the end of the podcast as well, probably. So, yeah, I think I'm going to put this on the back half. So, thank you guys for watching. Drew, Nick, thank you for coming on again. Of course, hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their week before we see you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree with any of our picks or somebody else you think would go. Drop it down below. Click that subscribe button. Click that like button. Turn those noties on. Appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Bury me now, and I only get bigger, that's word of my nigga. Yeah, October firm in the cut. Stay at the top like I'm stuck. It's time giving it up. She wanna get married tonight, but I can't take a nigga, I'm wearing all white.